A $2 billion palace, a $400 million flying mansion, and a $3 million summer fruit bill. This is the life of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Let's dive into the extraordinary world of one of the richest and most powerful rulers in the world. Chapter 1. Morning in a Golden Palace. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum wakes up in one of the most extravagant homes in the world, the Zabil Palace. Estimated at over $2 billion, this palace isn't just a residence, it's a symbol of ultimate luxury. The palace spans a vast 15 hectares, and every corner exudes wealth. With 22-karat gold accents shining on every surface, even the doorknobs and window frames glisten. The 200 crystal chandeliers spread across the palace create an enchanting, dreamlike glow as the morning sunlight hits them. There are around 150 rooms, each one unique and more luxurious than the last. The palace's grand ballroom alone is massive, often hosting gatherings of royals, celebrities, and global leaders. The Zabil Palace is more like a small city, with private spaces for every member of the royal family. In fact, the Sheikh's senior wife, Sheikha Hind bint Maktoum Al Maktoum, and 12 of his children live here too. This keeps the palace bustling with energy and ensures that family bonds remain strong. As if this wasn't enough, the palace grounds feature an entire horse racing track for the Sheikh's prized Arabian horses. These horses are not just any horses, they represent the peak of elegance and speed, and their daily care and training ensures they are always in top condition. Zabil Palace also includes a fleet of luxury vintage cars, showcasing the Sheikh's taste for the finer things in life. The Sheikh's breakfast is a morning ritual of indulgence. His team of chefs prepares the finest breakfast spread, featuring the rarest and most exquisite foods from around the world. There are trays of fresh fruits imported from different countries, each fruit hand-picked to ensure it meets the highest standards. These fruits are arranged in artistic displays that look more like masterpieces than meals. Golden platters hold pastries sprinkled with edible gold flakes, while the freshest honey flows from handcrafted jars. Even the milk for his morning coffee is specially sourced from farms that raise cows fed on the finest grains. His tableware is equally impressive. Every cup, saucer, and spoon is gold-plated, adding to the overall sense of extravagance. This isn't just about food, it's an entire experience. Each bite reminds the Sheikh of his unparalleled wealth and the life of luxury he leads. The family often joins him at the breakfast table, and the morning meal becomes an opportunity to connect, share laughter, and bond over delicious delicacies. One notable fact, during a family trip, they once spent $2 million just on strawberries, proving that nothing is ever out of reach when it comes to their tastes. After breakfast, the Sheikh enjoys a stroll around his palace grounds, which feel like stepping into a private paradise. One of the most extraordinary features of Zabil Palace is the private zoo. This zoo isn't small or modest, it's home to some of the world's most magnificent animals. It houses lions, tigers, gorillas, and even monkeys. These animals aren't just there for show, they're part of the Sheikh's life. He genuinely enjoys spending time with them and has a deep love for wildlife. The royal family is known for being real animal lovers, and their zoo showcases their passion for wildlife preservation. The animals have spacious, well-maintained enclosures that allow them to roam freely. The Sheikh's After his morning routine, the Sheikh dives into managing his vast empire, which spans multiple industries around the globe. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is not just a ruler, but a visionary leader who actively shapes Dubai's position as a global powerhouse. One of his key areas of influence is the aviation sector, where his impact is most visible through Emirates Airlines, which he launched in 1985. Today, it's one of the largest and most successful airlines in the world, bringing in billions in revenue and connecting Dubai to major cities across the globe. Besides aviation, Sheikh Mohammed has investments in luxury hotels, including iconic properties like the Burj Al Arab, enhancing Dubai's image as a luxury tourism hub. His leadership has turned Dubai into a modern global trade and business center, with the city recently being ranked third among the world's most prominent global cities by The Economist in 2023. Sheikh Mohammed is actively working on major projects, such as the Dubai Economic Agenda D33, which aims to double Dubai's economy in the next decade and establish the city as one of the top 3 global economic hubs. Additionally, he recently shared the Invest in the Emirates campaign, featuring actor Idris Elba, inviting global entrepreneurs and innovators to explore opportunities in the UAE, showing his dedication to promoting the UAE's economy on an international scale. To oversee his many ventures, Sheikh Mohammed holds virtual meetings with world leaders, business magnates, and government officials. In these sessions, he discusses strategies, negotiates billion-dollar deals, and steers the direction of his empire. For example, during one of his recent meetings, attended by prominent figures like Sheikh Hamdan, the Crown Prince of Dubai, and Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the CEO of Emirates Airline, they emphasized Dubai's goal of becoming a top global city through public-private sector partnerships. This collaborative approach ensures the prosperity and competitiveness of Dubai's business landscape. Another significant part of Sheikh Mohammed's empire is Godolphin, the world's largest thoroughbred horse racing and breeding operation. He founded Godolphin as a reflection of his lifelong passion for horses and racing. This global team has expanded across 4 continents, from Dubai to Europe, Australia, Japan, and the USA. Godolphin isn't just about horse racing, it's about breeding the next generation of champion racehorses, with their elite horses standing as Darley stallions around the world. The Sheikh's commitment to this venture is evident in how Godolphin dominates the racing industry, winning major races across the globe and showcasing the strength of his investments in the world of thoroughbred racing. By strategically managing his vast network of assets, industries, and properties, Sheikh Mohammed has not only transformed Dubai, but also set the standard for modern leadership and investment on a global scale. His dynamic approach ensures that Dubai continues to be a leader in tourism, business, technology, and innovation, making it one of the most influential cities in the world today. Running a giant empire sounds like a lot, right? But how does he relax after all that? Chapter 3: Afternoon of Adventure and Shopping. After handling business matters, Sheikh Mohammed often indulges in an afternoon of pure luxury and adventure, with his super yacht being the highlight. His favorite, the Dubai, is not just a yacht. It's like a floating castle that costs around $500 million to build. At 531 feet long, it's bigger than 3 football fields combined, and has 8 massive decks. The yacht offers 50 lavish guest suites, complete with top-of-the-line amenities and 24/7 service. Inside, there's a disco, where parties continue all night, a squash court for some athletic fun, and a huge swimming pool lit up by fiber optic lights, creating a sparkling effect at night. The Dubai yacht also boasts 2 jacuzzis, a helipad for quick arrivals and departures, and a mini submarine stored in its garage, ready for underwater adventures. Every detail on the yacht screams luxury. The walls and floors are decorated with gold leaf, onyx, marble, lapis lazuli, and malachite. These aren't just any materials, they're some of the most expensive and rarest stones on the planet, making this yacht one of the most opulent in the world. The yacht's owner suite, where the Sheikh spends time, spans 2 entire decks and has private access to the helipad. This suite alone feels more like a palace within a palace. The yacht is designed to cater to the Sheikh's every need, with security being top priority. It has cutting-edge technology that even includes a system capable of jamming signals to prevent unwanted communication. Interestingly, it's so advanced that when security experts were hired to hack into the system to test it, they managed to do it in just 30 minutes, prompting a complete redesign to make it even more secure. But that's not the only yacht the Sheikh enjoys. He owns a fleet of other super yachts, including the Dubawi, the Benetti DXB, and the Trinity Sapphire. She could purchase any horse she liked, and together they owned over 400 racehorses. The family's love for horses extended to Queen Elizabeth II, with whom they shared this passion. Another extravagant moment involved spending an astounding $3 million on strawberries in one summer, proving that even the most everyday items are elevated to a different level in the Sheikh's world. For vacations, the family doesn't hesitate to spend huge sums. They once paid $850,000 for a summer trip to Italy, and another $311,000 on a hotel stay in Greece. These vacations often include flying in private jets that are custom designed to match the family's taste, with interiors featuring golden trims and plush seating. Their children, even at a young age, travel in luxury, accustomed to flying in private planes and staying in 5-star accommodations. The Sheikh's afternoons also involve hanging out with high-profile friends. He's often seen spending time with celebrities like Cristiano Ronaldo, as well as other world-famous personalities. They might meet at one of his palaces, play tennis on private courts, or head out to one of the yachts for a party that lasts all day. Sheikh Mohammed's lifestyle goes beyond what most people can imagine, and every afternoon is an opportunity to enjoy something extraordinary. As the sun sets, the fun isn't over yet. Now, let's step into his evenings, where the real parties begin. Chapter 4: The Evening Gatherings. The lavish gatherings at Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's palaces are truly an extraordinary blend of luxury, tradition, and exclusivity. These dinners can last for hours, with every detail meticulously planned to create a setting that feels like a scene out of an Arabian fairy tale. The Sheikh often invites a mix of royal family members, world leaders, celebrities, and high-profile business figures. The atmosphere at these dinners is one of warmth and hospitality, yet the luxury is unmatched, reflecting Sheikh Mohammed's status as one of the wealthiest and most powerful rulers in the world. For entertainment, guests might be treated to live performances by top musicians, often flown in from various parts of the world specifically for the evening. Dancers might perform traditional Emirati routines, showcasing the rich cultural heritage of Dubai. It's not uncommon for classical musicians to perform pieces that complement the elegance of the evening, turning the event into a multi-sensory experience of opulence. The meals are prepared with precision, using ingredients that are flown in fresh from different countries. For instance, guests might be served dishes featuring caviar, truffles, or even dishes topped with edible gold leaf. The chefs are often given free rein to create masterpieces that reflect both international cuisine and Emirati flavors. This ensures that each meal is a perfect blend of world-class tastes, offering guests a once-in-a-lifetime dining experience. Every dish is served on golden plates, and the cutlery is often made of pure silver, further enhancing the sense of extravagance. After dinner, the entertainment continues with more activities that showcase the Sheikh's love for luxury and tradition. Sometimes guests are invited to participate in falconry demonstrations, a sport that is deeply rooted in Emirati culture. The Sheikh himself has a deep love for falcons, and he proudly showcases his prized birds, allowing guests to experience this ancient tradition firsthand. The evening might then continue with storytelling sessions, where traditional Arabic tales are shared, weaving the magic of history and heritage into the modern luxury setting. You might be wondering what else could top this. Well, wait until you see his incredible real estate spread across the globe. It's truly next level. Chapter 5: Exploring his real estate. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's real estate empire is truly one of the most impressive and expansive in the world, with properties spanning across different continents. Here's a closer look at some of his most remarkable estates, including his latest additions. One of Sheikh Mohammed's most talked about properties is the Inveronate estate, which covers a staggering 63,000 acres. The estate is a massive retreat, featuring a 16-bedroom hunting lodge, a £1.5 million in 2018. This property comes with an underground swimming pool, aquarium, and a private cinema, making it one of the most luxurious homes in the area. Additionally, he owns a mansion in Eaton Square, bought for £17.3 million from the Duke of Westminster back in 2013, which is another testament to his taste for prime real estate. His property holdings extend to Surrey, where he owns the 63,000-acre Long Cross estate, acquired in 1976 for £75 million. This estate is not just any regular home, it's renowned for being one of the most secluded and grand properties in the UK. He also owns Woodhay, a mansion nearby which features 10-bedroom suites, a swimming pool hall/bedroom, and is situated on 10 hectares of parkland. Both these properties are surrounded by heavy security, with Sheikh Mohammed even erecting a 6-foot fence around the Long Cross estate, much to the dismay of some neighbors. A reflection of his passion for horse racing, Sheikh Mohammed owns Dalham Hall Stud, a 63-hectare estate that serves as a training ground for his prized thoroughbreds. He added this to his portfolio back in 1981, and it remains one of the most significant properties for breeding and training his racehorses. He also acquired Moulton Paddocks in 1994, an estate that includes an equine spa designed to ensure his horses receive the best care. These properties are impressive, but they're just one part of his luxury life. Next step, let's take a ride through his amazing collection of supercars and private jets. Chapter 6: Supercars and Private Jets. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's collection of cars and aircraft truly reflects his status as one of the wealthiest men in the world, and it's filled with some of the most jaw-dropping, expensive vehicles you can imagine. Starting with his luxury cars, he has an incredible fleet estimated to be worth over $20 million. One of the most iconic parts of his collection is the rainbow-colored fleet of 7 Mercedes S-Classes, each costing around $120,000 to $150,000. What makes them special isn't just the colors. Each one is fitted with customized interiors featuring fine leather and state-of-the-art technology, turning them into mobile works of art. Beyond this unique collection, the Sheikh owns several Rolls-Royce Phantoms, each priced at $450,000 before customization. Some of his Phantoms are rumored to be outlined with gold accents, bringing their value to well over $600,000 each. He's also a fan of high-performance cars like Ferraris and Lamborghinis, including models like the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, which costs around $300,000, and a Lamborghini Aventador, valued at about $500,000. These vehicles are not just parked in his garage, they are driven on the streets of Dubai, making quite a statement about his taste for the finer things. When it comes to air travel, the Sheikh's private jet collection is even more impressive. One of his most luxurious jets is a customized Boeing 747-400, which has a price tag of around $400 million. This flying palace features multiple bedrooms, a private dining area, a fully equipped kitchen, and bathrooms with gold fixtures. The interior has been designed to match the standards of a 5-star hotel, ensuring that every flight is as comfortable as it gets. This isn't just about flying. It's about having a home in the sky, complete with top-notch amenities. Another aircraft in his fleet includes a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which costs around $250 million before any customization. These jets allow him to travel the world with ease, ensuring that his trips are not only quick, but incredibly luxurious. For shorter trips, or when he needs to navigate through Dubai's busy streets quickly, Sheikh Mohammed turns to his fleet of helicopters. He owns several, including an Airbus ACH-145, which costs around $9 million. This helicopter is designed to offer maximum comfort, featuring leather seats, luxurious carpeting, and even a mini-bar. Another helicopter in his collection is the Augusta Westland AW-139, which has a price tag of about $12 million. These helicopters are used for quick transfers between his palaces, private islands, and business meetings, offering a level of convenience that only a few in the world can experience. You've seen his cars and jets, but how does Sheikh Mohammed measure up against history's greatest tycoons? The comparison might surprise you. Chapter 7: Comparison with Historical Trillionaires. Looking at the wealth of Sheikh Mohammed compared to history's richest figures reveals some incredible details that make these comparisons even more fascinating. to a city with some of the most valuable real estate, the world's tallest building, and industries worth billions. Instead of disrupting economies with gold, he does it with skyscrapers, airlines, and luxury tourism. Moving on to Genghis Khan, he controlled an empire that stretched across Asia and Europe, making him incredibly powerful. At his peak, Genghis Khan had access to the Silk Road, controlling all the trade routes between the East and the West. This meant that every piece of silk, spice, and gold traveling across continents was under his watch, making him one of the most influential leaders in history. While he wielded swords and armies to maintain control, Sheikh Mohammed uses businesses, innovation, and smart investments to expand his influence. Instead of ruling over lands, he rules over industries like aviation, tourism, and finance. Emirates Airlines, for example, has become one of the most successful and influential airlines in the world, connecting cities just as Genghis Khan's trade routes once did. It's clear he's one of the richest, but his vision goes beyond just money. What's next for Sheikh Mohammed? Let's uncover his plans to leave a lasting mark. Chapter 8: Future Plans and Legacy. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is ensuring that his legacy leaves an impact far beyond his time. Recently, he approved a massive expansion of the Dubai Exhibition Center at Expo City, Dubai, with an investment of 10 billion AED. Once finished, it will be the largest indoor events and exhibition venue in the entire region, reinforcing Dubai's position as a hub for global business and events. This expansion is part of a grand vision to make Dubai a dynamic center for connecting people, ideas, and opportunities, pushing the city to the forefront of global trade and innovation. But that's not the only ambitious plan. Sheikh Mohammed has also announced a colossal 128 billion AED project to build what will be the world's largest airport, Al Maktoum International. This airport is designed to handle over 260 million passengers annually and will have 400 aircraft gates and 5 parallel runways. It's said to be more than 5 times the size of Dubai International Airport, and it aims to position Dubai as the main gateway for international travel, not just today, but for the next several decades. His focus isn't just on building impressive structures. He's also deeply committed to ensuring that future generations thrive. One example is his massive investment in the housing sector, where a historic 65 billion AED has been allocated to double the number of Emiratis benefiting from housing programs. This effort is part of a broader strategy to ensure that Dubai's citizens have access to modern, comfortable living environments, helping the younger generation to inherit a city that supports their dreams and ambitions. Sustainability is also a big part of his vision for the future. Plans are in place to develop a 20-minute city, where residents can access most of their daily needs with a 20-minute walk or bike ride. Green corridors, increased public parks, and preserving historical and urban heritage are all part of this approach, creating a city that's not only grand, but also environmentally friendly. The design of Al Maktoum International Airport aligns with this goal, aiming for energy efficiency, sustainability, and a significantly reduced carbon footprint. Through these grand projects, Sheikh Mohammed isn't just building skyscrapers and airports. He's crafting a future where Dubai remains a leader in innovation, sustainability, and opportunity. It's clear that he's thinking far ahead, ensuring that Dubai's growth continues to inspire, and that his legacy will be one that blends progress, luxury, and a vision for a sustainable tomorrow. If you thought this was wild, Wait till you see our video on the people who make Elon Musk look poor. Check it out to dive into a world where even billionaires can't keep up.
Putin's $4 billion flying palace humiliated Donald Trump when both presidents attended the same international summit and world leaders compared their aircraft. Trump's Air Force One looked like a budget airline jet next to Putin's airborne mansion, complete with gold toilets, underground bunkers, and anti-missile systems that make military bases seem vulnerable. But to understand how Putin's aircraft made Trump's presidential jet appear ordinary, we need to look at the most expensive presidential aircraft in the world, starting with the European leader whose plane costs more than most nations' annual defense budgets. 10. French presidential Airbus A330-200, $250 million. The French presidential Airbus A330-200 operates as Europe's most luxurious government aircraft, featuring custom interiors designed by French artisans who transformed military transport into flying palace that rivals five-star hotels, while maintaining security systems that protect French leadership during international travel and diplomatic missions. This presidential jet stretches 59 meters in length while accommodating up to 60 passengers in configurations that include private presidential suites, secure communication centers, and medical facilities staffed by military physicians trained in emergency medicine and trauma surgery. The French aircraft doesn't just transport presidents, it projects French cultural sophistication and technological capabilities while providing mobile headquarters that enable continued government operations during extended international travel and crisis management situations. But this was just the foundation of European presidential aviation that prioritizes luxury and diplomatic prestige over pure military functionality and security considerations. The aircraft's custom interior design incorporates French luxury materials, including fine leather, exotic woods, and precious metals, while maintaining advanced communication systems that enable secure contact with French military commanders, intelligence agencies, and government ministers during flight operations that may span multiple continents and time zones. French presidential aviation operates through specialized Air Force units that provide security screening, maintenance services, Presidential aviation represented European approaches to diplomatic prestige, but German engineering had created something more technically sophisticated through precision manufacturing and advanced security systems. 9. German Air Force Airbus A340-300, $300 million. The German Air Force Airbus A340-300 demonstrates German engineering precision applied to presidential aviation, featuring advanced security systems, communication networks, and defensive capabilities that reflect German technical expertise while maintaining operational reliability that enables extended international travel without mechanical failures or security vulnerabilities. This German presidential aircraft measures 63 meters in length while incorporating defensive countermeasures, electronic warfare systems, and secure communication equipment that enable continued government operations during international crises and military emergencies. The German aircraft doesn't just provide luxury transportation, it serves as mobile command center that maintains operational continuity for German government functions while projecting technological capabilities that enhance German diplomatic influence and international prestige during state visits and multinational negotiations. But this was just the beginning of German aviation engineering that prioritized technical excellence and operational security over decorative luxury and ceremonial display features. The aircraft's German manufactured systems include advanced navigation equipment, defensive countermeasures, and communication networks that enable secure contact with NATO command structures, European Union institutions, and German military units deployed globally, while maintaining operational security that prevents intelligence gathering by hostile foreign governments or terrorist organizations targeting German leadership. Then came the European Union integration that made German presidential aircraft essential to multilateral diplomacy and crisis management, as German leadership required rapid transportation to emergency meetings, summit conferences, and military coordination sessions that determined European responses to international conflicts and economic crises affecting continental stability and security. And it wasn't just technical capabilities that made German presidential aviation valuable. It was the aircraft's demonstration of German industrial capabilities and engineering excellence that enhanced German soft power and technological reputation during international negotiations, where technical credibility influenced trade agreements and military cooperation arrangements with partner nations. German engineering excellence was impressive, but Middle Eastern oil wealth had created something more extravagant through unlimited budgets and royal luxury requirements. 8. Saudi Arabian Royal Flight Boeing 747-8 $350 million. The Saudi Arabian Royal Flight Boeing 747-8 operates as a flying palace that demonstrates oil wealth converted into aviation luxury through custom modifications that include gold-plated fixtures, marble floors, and bedroom suites larger than most hotel accommodations, while maintaining security systems that protect Saudi leadership during international travel and diplomatic missions. This royal aircraft stretches 76 meters in length while accommodating Saudi royal family members and government officials in configurations that rival luxury hotels and private residences through interior design that incorporates Middle Eastern cultural elements and precious materials sourced from around the world. The Saudi aircraft doesn't just transport royalty, it projects Saudi wealth and cultural identity while providing mobile headquarters that enable continued monarchy operations during extended international travel and business negotiations. But this was just the visible portion of Saudi aviation assets that demonstrated how oil revenues could be converted into diplomatic prestige and international influence through visible displays of wealth and technological sophistication. The royal aircraft's interior modifications include prayer rooms designed according to Islamic requirements, conference facilities for government meetings, and entertainment systems that provide cultural programming, while maintaining advanced communication equipment that enables secure contact with Saudi military forces, intelligence agencies, and government ministers during flight operations, spanning multiple continents and international time zones. Then came the international oil diplomacy that made Saudi royal aviation essential to global energy markets and international relations, as Saudi leadership required rapid transportation to OPEC meetings, international summits, and business negotiations that determined global oil prices and energy supply agreements affecting worldwide economic conditions and geopolitical relationships. And it wasn't just luxury accommodations that justified Saudi royal aviation costs. It was the aircraft's role in demonstrating Saudi Arabia's position as regional power and global energy supplier through visible displays of wealth that influenced international perceptions of Saudi capabilities and diplomatic importance during negotiations affecting Middle Eastern politics and global energy security. Saudi royal luxury was extravagant, but American military technology had created something more advanced through defense spending and national security requirements. 7. United States Air Force One Boeing VC-25A $400 million. The United States Air Force One Boeing VC-25A represents American military aviation technology applied to presidential transportation, featuring defensive systems. The foundation of American presidential aviation that prioritized military capabilities and operational security over luxury accommodations and ceremonial display features. The aircraft's classified systems include electronic warfare capabilities, missile defense countermeasures, and secure communication networks that enable presidential contact with military commanders, intelligence agencies, and government officials worldwide while maintaining operational security that prevents foreign intelligence gathering and electronic surveillance by hostile governments or terrorist organizations targeting American leadership. Then came the Cold War realities that made Air Force One capabilities essential to American national security strategy, as presidential mobility and survivable command authority enabled rapid response to international crises, while maintaining deterrent effects against potential adversaries who could not match American presidential aviation capabilities or command and control systems. And it wasn't just military technology that made Air Force One valuable. It was the aircraft's demonstration of American technological superiority and defense capabilities that enhanced American diplomatic influence during international negotiations, where visible military advantages affected bargaining positions and alliance relationships with partner nations worldwide. American military aviation was sophisticated, but British royal traditions had created something more historically significant through constitutional monarchy requirements and ceremonial protocols. 6. British Royal Air Force Voyager KC-2, $450 million. The British Royal Air Force Voyager KC-2 serves dual roles as aerial refueling tanker and royal transport aircraft, demonstrating British military efficiency through aircraft designs that combine operational utility with royal ceremonial requirements, while maintaining capabilities that support both military operations and diplomatic missions across Commonwealth nations and former British territories. This British aircraft measures 58 meters in length while incorporating royal suites, government conference facilities, and military communication systems that enable continued operations for both royal family activities and government functions during extended international travel and state visits. The RAF Voyager doesn't just transport royalty, it maintains British influence across global Commonwealth relationships while providing military refueling capabilities that support British and Allied air operations in international conflicts and peacekeeping missions. But this was just the evolution of British Royal Aviation that balanced ceremonial traditions with modern military requirements and diplomatic necessities in contemporary international relations. The aircraft's dual-purpose design incorporates royal accommodations that meet constitutional monarchy protocols while maintaining military specifications that enable rapid conversion between passenger transport and aerial refueling configurations, demonstrating British engineering capabilities and operational flexibility that maximize investment value through multi-purpose aircraft utilization. Then came the Commonwealth diplomatic requirements that made British Royal Aviation essential to maintaining relationships with former colonies and current Commonwealth members, where royal visits and government meetings required presidential-level transportation capabilities while supporting military operations that protected British interests and international commitments worldwide. And it wasn't just royal transportation that justified RAF Voyager costs. It was the aircraft's military utility and diplomatic significance in maintaining British influence over global relationships and military partnerships that generated strategic value, exceeding pure transportation functions through enhanced international cooperation and alliance maintenance. British dual-purpose efficiency was practical, but Japanese technology had created something more advanced through precision manufacturing and innovative design approaches. 5. Japan Air Self-Defense Force Boeing 777-300ER, $500 million. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force Boeing 777-300ER represents Japanese technological sophistication applied to government aviation through advanced manufacturing techniques, precision engineering, and innovative design features that reflect Japanese industrial capabilities, while maintaining security systems and communication networks that protect Japanese leadership during international travel and diplomatic missions. This Japanese government aircraft measures 74 meters in length while incorporating Japanese manufactured components, advanced electronics, and security systems that demonstrate domestic technological capabilities while providing transportation services that support Japanese foreign policy and international economic relationships. The JASDF aircraft doesn't just transport government officials. It showcases Japanese industrial excellence while providing mobile platforms that enable continued government operations during international crises and diplomatic negotiations that affect Japanese national interests and regional security arrangements. But this was just the application of Japanese manufacturing precision to government aviation requirements that prioritized technological innovation and operational reliability over luxury accommodations and ceremonial display features. The aircraft's Japanese technology integration includes advanced navigation systems, communication networks, and electronic components manufactured by Japanese corporations that demonstrate domestic industrial capabilities while maintaining operational independence from foreign suppliers and potential security vulnerabilities that could compromise government operations and sensitive information. Then came the Asia-Pacific diplomatic environment that made Japanese government aviation essential to regional $1 billion. The Canadian government Airbus A310-300 operates as mobile headquarters for Canadian leadership during international travel and diplomatic missions that span North American, European, and Asia-Pacific regions, where Canadian interests require direct governmental involvement and real-time decision-making capabilities. This Canadian government aircraft measures 46 meters in length, while providing communication systems, security features, and accommodation facilities that enable continued government operations during extended international travel and crisis management situations affecting Canadian national interests and international relationships. The Canadian aircraft doesn't just provide transportation, it maintains governmental continuity across vast geographic distances while projecting Canadian sovereignty and diplomatic capabilities during international negotiations and multilateral conferences that determine trade agreements and security partnerships. But this was just the foundation of Canadian government aviation that reflected the nation's geographic scale and international responsibilities, while maintaining operational independence and security capabilities appropriate to middle power diplomatic status. The aircraft systems integration enables secure communication with Canadian military forces, intelligence agencies, and government departments, while maintaining compatibility with NORAD command structures and NATO communication networks that coordinate North American defense and international military cooperation, affecting Canadian security interests. Then came the Arctic sovereignty requirements that made Canadian government aviation essential to northern operations and international diplomacy, as climate change and resource development created new strategic challenges, requiring governmental presence and diplomatic engagement across Arctic regions, where traditional transportation infrastructure remains inadequate for government operations. And it wasn't just domestic transportation that justified Canadian government aircraft costs. It was the aircraft's role in maintaining Canadian international relationships and sovereignty claims that generated strategic value through enhanced diplomatic presence and operational capabilities, supporting Canadian interests in global forums and regional organizations. Canadian strategic positioning was valuable, but Indian economic growth had created something more ambitious through emerging power requirements and regional leadership aspirations. 3. Indian Air Force Boeing 777-300ER, $700 million. The Indian Air Force Boeing 777-300ER represents India's emergence as regional power through government aviation capabilities that support diplomatic missions, economic negotiations, and strategic partnerships across South Asian, Middle Eastern, and global theaters, where Indian interests require high-level governmental involvement and rapid response capabilities. This Indian government aircraft measures 74 meters in length, while incorporating advanced security systems, communication networks, and accommodation facilities that reflect India's growing international importance and diplomatic requirements in multilateral organizations and bilateral relationships, affecting regional stability and economic development. The IAF aircraft doesn't just transport government officials, it projects Indian influence and technological capabilities, while providing mobile command platforms that enable continued government operations during international crises and diplomatic negotiations that determine India's position in global power structures and economic relationships. But this was just the visible manifestation of Indian aviation modernization that reflected the nation's economic growth and strategic ambitions, while maintaining operational capabilities appropriate to emerging superpower status and regional leadership responsibilities. The aircraft's Indian specification modifications include communication systems compatible with Indian military networks, security features adapted to South Asian threat environments, and accommodation configurations that support extended diplomatic missions and government operations across vast geographic regions where Indian interests require direct engagement and real-time coordination with domestic agencies and military forces. Then came the China-Pakistan strategic environment that made Indian government aviation essential to regional competition and diplomatic maneuvering, as Indian leadership required rapid transportation to international summits, military coordination meetings, and economic conferences that determined South Asian power balances and security arrangements, affecting continental stability. And it wasn't just regional transportation that justified Indian government aircraft investments, it was the demonstration of Indian technological capabilities and economic resources that enhanced Indian soft power and international credibility during negotiations, where visible capabilities influenced trade agreements and strategic partnerships with major powers worldwide. Indian regional ambitions were significant, but Chinese economic power had created something more comprehensive through systematic investment and technological advancement. 2. Chinese Air Force Boeing 747-8I, $800 million. The Chinese Air Force Boeing 747-8 I demonstrates Chinese economic power converted into diplomatic capabilities through government aviation that supports international travel and strategic negotiations across global theaters, where Chinese interests require high-level engagement and rapid governmental response to changing international conditions. responsibilities. The aircraft's Chinese-manufactured components and systems demonstrate domestic technological capabilities while maintaining communication networks that enable secure contact with Chinese military forces, intelligence agencies, and government ministries during international missions that may affect Chinese national interests and strategic objectives across multiple geographic regions and international forums. Then came the Belt and Road Initiative that made Chinese government aviation essential to global economic diplomacy and infrastructure development, as Chinese leadership required rapid transportation to project meetings, summit conferences, and bilateral negotiations that determined international cooperation and economic partnerships affecting global development patterns and trade relationships. And it wasn't just economic diplomacy that justified Chinese government aircraft investments. It was the demonstration of Chinese technological advancement and industrial capabilities that enhanced Chinese soft power and international influence during negotiations, where visible achievements affected perceptions of Chinese reliability and partnership value among developing nations. Chinese global ambitions were comprehensive, but Russian strategic culture had created something unprecedented through military thinking and authoritarian luxury requirements. Putin's $4 billion flying palace that humiliated Donald Trump. Putin's $4 billion flying palace is the ultimate expression of authoritarian power through aviation luxury that humiliated Donald Trump during international summits, where world leaders and media organizations compared presidential aircraft and recognized Russian superiority in governmental aviation through capabilities that exceeded American Air Force One specifications and diplomatic prestige. This Russian presidential aircraft operates as a flying mansion that demonstrates oil wealth and military technology converted into personal luxury through modifications that include gold-plated bathroom fixtures, underground bunker facilities, anti-missile defense systems, and communication networks that enable global command operations from airborne platforms that surpass ground-based government facilities in security and operational capabilities. Putin's airborne palace stretches 76 meters in length while incorporating defensive systems that include electronic warfare capabilities, missile countermeasures, and radar jamming equipment that provide protection levels exceeding those available to most world leaders through aircraft modifications that transform civilian Boeing 747 airframes into military command platforms capable of surviving direct attacks and maintaining governmental operations during nuclear conflicts or international warfare that threatens Russian leadership survival. The aircraft's interior modifications include presidential suites larger than most hotel accommodations, conference facilities equipped with secure communication systems, medical facilities staffed by military physicians, and entertainment areas that demonstrate Russian cultural sophistication through artwork, furnishings, and decorative elements that showcase Russian artistic traditions and technological capabilities, while maintaining luxury standards that exceed those found in five-star hotels and private residences. But it wasn't just luxury accommodations that made Putin's aircraft legendary among international observers. It was the systematic humiliation of Donald Trump during 2018 Helsinki summit, where media organizations and diplomatic observers noted the dramatic differences between American and Russian presidential aviation capabilities that demonstrated Russian investment in governmental prestige and operational capabilities, while American Air Force One appeared outdated and inferior by comparison to Russian technological sophistication and luxury appointments. The most devastating aspect of Putin's aviation superiority involved the international recognition that Russian government aircraft exceeded American presidential capabilities through investments in defensive systems, communication networks, and luxury accommodations that demonstrated Russian technological advancement and financial resources, while American military aviation appeared constrained by budget limitations and congressional oversight that prevented comparable investments in presidential aviation modernization and capability enhancement. Trump's visible embarrassment during aircraft comparisons created diplomatic advantages for Putin, who utilized superior aviation capabilities to project Russian power and technological superiority, while demonstrating that authoritarian governments could outspend democratic nations in governmental luxury and operational capabilities through centralized decision-making and resource allocation, that democratic budget processes and congressional oversight could not match in speed or scale of investment in presidential prestige and diplomatic influence.